The time is yours.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting me today. It's a pleasure to join you. I've also seen the 3D part of the conference. I was in there before, but for the speech, I'll stick to Zoom. It's probably best for the current
Absolutely, you are
connection
absolutely
I
right.
have. So thank you for the invitation. So when Jean-Philippe called me to invite me for the conference, he asked me, if we had something, if we developed something because of the COVID, or what had changed after the COVID in our activities. And funny enough, actually, we were just before the COVID started, we were precisely working on virtualizing meetings and large events. So when this thing exploded, we were right in the middle of a vortex, and we pushed a lot the development of our meeting and conferencing solutions. And so today, the idea is to tell you a bit more about the things we developed, how they can be of help, and essentially our perspective of how VR can be used in this respect. I have some slides for you. I'm going to start screen sharing, and then if we have enough time, I will also show you some demonstrations of the products I'll be talking about here. So just 1 second, I'm sharing. Can you confirm you see okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, great, thank you. So first of all, a couple of words on our company. So we're entirely focused on virtual and augmented reality. We are a company formed by a team of early starters in VR. I started personally working in this field about 15 years ago. At the time, we had Second Life and a few other virtual worlds, if you remember. But in any case, our mission, so it's to virtualize a company in all its parts and processes. And we're starting to do so by some elements, of course. And this is what I'm going to show you today. So besides who we are, at Qbit, we work on two different tracks, essentially. We have our SaaS products, which are VR-based products that we deliver on a pay-per-use base. And we have the Qbit engineering, or the studio part, which develops and builds customized solutions for clients. And we have three main verticals in that. So we work in retail, virtualizing stores and retail experiences. We work in training, creating training simulations. And we work in collaboration and meeting and events, which is more the focus of what I'm going to show you today. As for our products, we currently have two main lines of products. One is the meeting and events, and the other one is the 3D shop. I will show you a demo of both of those in a minute, but essentially they are two different products. One is focused on collaboration features, of course, the meeting and events, and the other is more focused on the product. So on one side, we have the avatar, and we focus on the collaboration in between avatars in 3D, interaction with the environment and with content. On the other side, we focus more on the product itself and the visualization of a product in terms of retail. Some of the features, just very quickly, I don't want to get too technical, but it's better just to show you things. So some of the features we are integrating that are considered, I would say, important from companies and clients are, of course, the ability to configure your own collaboration space, to have 3D product showrooms, to have the possibility of creating and selecting an avatar, to have voice and chat and text chat communication, 3D animation and interactions with objects as well. So the possibility to have a product in 3D. A custom-made environment, creating customized spaces for clients, have it as you want, tailor it to your needs, have an interactive whiteboard in collaborative spaces, the possibility, of course, to share and import content, but also to have additional modules and integrations of, for example, artificial intelligence. to monitor and find patterns of what people do in these collaborative spaces, or specifically in VR stores where the customer behavior is very important. Then we have the social media integration feature, of course. We have the statistics, user profiling. Scalability is obviously a very important feature because every company is looking to host very large events in 3D and VR. And obviously the amount of users you can have in a given place in VR is depending on a number of factors. So we have our own way of dealing with that. I won't go into technicalities today, but it's just to say that it's very important to be able to scale to large numbers. To have private and public communication channels, to have a space that can be divided into different meeting spaces, auditoriums, demo rooms, breakout sessions, and to be able to stream the webcam of the presenter like we're doing today, in this case, integrating Zoom. Moreover, going straight forward to our products and what I wanted to talk to you about today, we have three main products that with the COVID are being really pushed forward and at the moment raise the most interest from our client. So one is a product to do events and large expos, trade shows with booths, exhibitors, sponsors, and large amounts of participants. The other solution is for creating showrooms or 3D stores, where, as I was saying before, the product is at the center of attention and there is no focus on collaboration between people, but it's more on displaying the product the best way possible and the most realistic way possible inside the 3D space. And the third thing we're going to see is the corporate meeting space, which is essentially a VR meeting room, a collaboration space. We work with various clients around the world. We have a number of experiences in this field. I won't go over those. But today, most importantly, I would like to start showing you a couple of demos of the things we are doing. So if you just give me 1 second, I will stop sharing and open the app. Okay, so share again. You should see there is.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, so here we are entering the experience. So we're trying to keep everything very simple and easy for people to use it, especially when you are using headsets, you know, that's important. So that's a very simple login where you select an avatar, and once you do, you can enter the meeting room. Again, this solution is tailored for meetings and conferences, so it's basically around collaboration in between people and the ability to communicate. So here on the top right, you can see we have the audio controls. So all the room is voice enabled. People can talk. You can mute, you can control the sound, and you can also toggle in between spatial sound, which is 3D sound, hearing sounds from different parts of the room, or equalize the sound to hear better if somebody is presenting. You can take place and sit down, and here you can see content on your laptop screen if you want. But most of all, you have these screens on the walls that, as you can see, have different things. So on one screen here, you have slides, a simple slide viewer. Here you have a video screen, and here you have a web browser screen that I'm using now. Now, what we did, and there is also another thing, which is a collaborative whiteboard here, where everybody can write and draw shapes similarly to a PowerPoint. Now, if I go full screen, I mean, I can go full screen with every screen, and I can switch from one screen to the other in full screen. So that's useful to use, you know, multiple desktops and work with multiple content. In the whiteboard, if I draw on it, for example, and go out, everybody sees, as you can see, what I've been drawing. We have the chat here on the right. You can minimize it. And here in the web browser part, you can also use Google Apps to collaborate on documents. If you are the presenter, you may want to go into the host seat. So you have this other view. And here on the screen on the left, you can have your webcam streaming in. We also added a laser pointer feature to indicate things. So you can see I'm actually holding in my hand a laser pointer. There we go. So I can indicate in my presentation what I'm doing. So this is one of the first things that I wanted to show you. Obviously, there is user profiling. I forgot there is some basic animations, the possibility to contact users directly, and we're keeping adding features as we go along. So this is another product. The other thing I wanted to show you, and I'll use a video in this case because it's not going to work logging in the platform at the moment, is a virtual events and trade show platform. Let me put off the audio, which shows you how you can have a virtual trade show with certain features that essentially are designed to match the offer and demand. So visitors can visit booths and they can search their different offerings by their search criteria and a user profile. And then they can navigate, in this case, it's a real estate trade show. They can navigate through properties and see all the property details. Some of the content is in 2D, but we have also an in-booth navigation in 3D. And you can zoom in every screen and see the different type of content. So let's fast forward here. You can see the location, the 3D views of the properties, the floor plans. But this is more made to see the content around the real estate offerings. You can connect to the social media part. And then you have private rooms to meet with sales agents. You have features, gamification features to rate different booths. And also we have a user rating system that allows you to gain points as you use the system. We have different types of booths. Exhibitors can buy using an online configurator to upload their content in the booth for different sizes in this case. We have multi-user interaction with avatars. This is all stuff you're used to seeing. We have integrated all these things together in a large event platform. We have multi-language translations, as you've seen. And here is a list of the main features that we have added onto this platform. So I'll stop here for a minute with the sharing. So we still have a bit of time. So I would, as a last thing, I would show you our virtual store just to complete the demos. And I will start this now and show you, and then we can move on to perhaps some questions if you have any. So I hope my screen sharing is fluid. Obviously the apps are running locally, so they're very fluid for me. I hope you're seeing a fluid demonstration. This app was designed for duty-free shopping in stores, in airports and in planes. So passengers could download, the idea is that they can download an app in 3D on their tablets and use it for shopping. In this case, this is just a simple entrance lobby, but you have a brands menu and you can choose the brand you want to visit to go shopping. So if you open a brand, I don't know if you're hearing the audio or not.
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah? I keep it low so I don't hear my voice. I cannot hear my voice otherwise. So here, once you are inside the store, everything is in 3D. You see we have video, music, the content of the brand, and we place pins to move around to make it easy for everyone to use it. Once you're in front of a shelf, you can zoom in the product. There you go. And you can enlarge the product as much as you want. See the product details, videos, information, and of course buy the product. And you have the e-commerce features here, you have your cart. You can see also related products by moving into the shop in 3D. And again, you zoom in the product and open it up. In this case, we've also integrated a virtual assistant that you see here, which is a shopping assistant in this case. It connects to your social networks, your profiles, learns from you, and suggests the best purchases for you. So all the navigation, as you can see, is in 3D. And different products in every shelf. So if you go to the brands here, you can jump from one brand to the other. Okay, so this runs on headsets, mobile phones, tablets, basically everything. It's made to run on everything to be accessible. And that's why we also don't have the avatars interaction in this case, because we focused on the product, and it's better to have a fluid product experience in this case. We're working obviously on a number of other things and experiments in VR and AR. There is the augmented reality part to all of this, where we're bringing the products into people's home through their phones or glasses. You know how this works. But for today, I think I showed you enough and I talked enough. And I'm going to leave the time if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mattia. It's really very impressive what you are doing. Particularly, I am very impressed from the high quality of your rendering. And my question is, how we deal with the latency? Can you, for example, distribute this to 1,000 participants at the same time? And how you arrive to do this? I mean, I have quite experience in this kind of technology, and what you are doing is really something exceptional. I don't know something with such high quality.
So the number of people is always a key point, as you know. So what we do is we don't create environments that exceed a certain amount of people, typically 100 avatars in the same space. What we do is, if we have larger space, we go up to 300-400, but it becomes very messy. So what we do when we have a conference room, we do something similar to what you did today, what LearnBright does. We, as avatars enter the conference hall, they are immediately seated on a chair and they cannot move around. They can just turn around with the view. They can toggle a presentation screen view or the speaker's view, but they cannot move around. Otherwise, it's a mess. Done this way, you can go up to larger numbers. Then again, what we also do is clone environments. And what we try and do when we build a virtual event is move people around in a way, design the space so people move around in a way that do not concentrate in the same places, and also design the program of the event thinking it's a virtual event, not a real event, so, and not a webinar. So people should arrive, in a lobby space, then they should go to different spaces, different breakout rooms, different sessions. So what we do is we allocate different servers and channels to every room. So for example, you have a server that manages the voice channel in one room, and X times, depending on the amount of rooms you want to have. We have separated video streaming with a CDN network, with cloud streaming, and this is to optimize performance. So essentially, we try and optimize things on the front end, the design of how things work and people flow, and also, of course, in the server backend, that is the infrastructure that powers up everything we do in this case.
Awesome. And I have a second question. Are you doing everything homemade, or you are using creators outside of your company, like for example in Outspace, you can everybody can create his own room or make even some content. In Sinespace is the same. Like developers, I can create my own items inside.
So at the moment, no, we create environments for companies and we don't let them model the environments at the moment. We're going into this direction with the platform we are creating that we're thinking of launching in the future, hopefully soon, that will allow people to have a choice of customized environments and have different elements they can change into them. Currently, for some clients, we develop customized configurators that allow to change a given space. For example, in the virtual trade show platform, you can change the booth appearance, the content, but also the colors, the walls, the floor. So you do that online. We have a 3D model that runs inside the web browser, and users can change the properties around that model. But currently, we don't give full independence in customization of the spaces.
Thank you very much.